Start right from now. Naresh sir,
Yeah, madam.
do we start?
Start, madam. Start.
Yeah, just now I have extended a warm welcome, and here we have our Geetam family members as well. So, dear gathering, namaste and hearty welcome to this webinar once again. Now, let me start with a quote or sutra actually from Ashtanga Hridayam. Tanmana bhojanagataha chittaha. Now, what does that mean? Only 3 words in Sanskrit, but mean a lot. Concentrating one's mind on the food while eating, what we think while eating, positive or negative, how thankful we are for the food we eat, impacts our psychology and also affects our digestion. Now, while eating food itself, we must indulge in a very, very structured process. It must not be random. Then while preparing it, processing it, trying to do research on it, the indulgence must be intense, right? Maybe that's the reason why many celebrities, many people have given their, what can we call as their perspective of food. Now, I have a couple of such perspectives. Jack Levin, he told, our whole economy up and down the state is based on food processing, distribution, getting food products to the world. And to be interested in food, we all love eating food, right? But not in food production is clearly an absurd, as quoted by Wendell Bessie. Dear manifestations of supreme energy, when what we learn encompasses what we love the most and something which triggers and tingles our taste buds, yes, buddies, food. I'm speaking of food. Canning, fermentation, modified atmosphere packaging, freezing, pasteurization, additives, blah, blah, blah. Many things to go here. I'll not move much on these terms. If we go back down the memory lane, yes, I do understand that you have heard about these in your primary schooling itself. But now, it is just not the definitions. It is just not the process. It is something more. It's a technology, in fact, frankly speaking. The avenues related to these terms are all set for deep exploration through food processing technology, in fact. Hearty welcome to our dear Geetamites and namaste to all the parents. From our Geetam family, we have with us Professor Kasim Bibi ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Head of the Department of Biotechnology, Dr. I. Sharad Babu, sir. Associate Professor, Department of Biotechnology. Good evening, sir, from Geetam Institute of Technology. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar on Insights of Food Processing, the Indian Scenario. On that note, let me introduce our panel members to you. Let me give you a brief note on the motivating profile of Professor Kasim Bibi, ma'am, Head of the Department of Biotechnology. Ma'am has received her doctorate from Andhra University in the year 2008 in environmental hydraulics, post her master's in environmental science and engineering from IIT. Ma'am has completed 3 research projects and presently ma'am is a principal investigator for a DST seed funding project titled Development of a Facility of Fruit Vendors Belonging to Populations in Rural Visakhapatnam. As co-investigator, ma'am has completed 4 research projects and mentored 1 such project as well. Under ma'am's guidance, 3 doctoral degrees have been awarded with 1 ongoing. She has 18 international journal publications and 21 publications in national journals. 22 conference papers of national and international repute are add-ons to her research bank. Ma'am has been on the editing forefront for various volumes associated to the field of technology, biotechnology, in fact. From the admin forefront at Geetam, from the department perspective, ma'am is presently head of the Department of Biotechnology, as introduced already. And she has been in this role from the year 2016, member board of studies at the Department of Biotechnology for 6 years, coordinator for industrial doors, placements, IEI and IST student chapters, ladies hostel during the years 2008-2009 in different year spans, in fact. And ma'am is also the coordinator for student welfare and grievances, member board of studies, member departmental committee, vigilance committee, coordinator for alumni during the academic year 2009-2013, and in charge for bioprocess engineering laboratory during a specific span. And honorary placement officer, ma'am has taken up this role for UGC Hepson scheme during 2005-2008. For the university, member board of management since 2011 for 6 years, convener, Women Empowerment Cell since 2009 for 10 years, coordinator for consultancy work since the year 2011 for 3 years, convener for the conduction of various program advisory committee meetings, and received Geetam Best Teacher Award for the year 2014. Ma'am, hearty welcome, and please do pin on the introductory remarks. Over to you, ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, madam, with that elaborate introduction. So I welcome all the students and then prospective students, whoever are there in this particular meeting, and whatever the kind of doubts or clarifications that they need, we are here to clarify them. And initially, Sarath Babu sir will tell us about the insights of food processing industry and how this particular food processing industry is coming up at a large extent in India specifically. And of course, at the global level also, this industry is coming up. And we are going to give very good insights about the food processing sector as a whole and what Department of Biotechnology is playing a role in that particular sector, especially the food processing sector. And how this particular food processing technology is prospering at Geetam. So this is what we are going to tell them briefly in today's meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. Dear all, let me now introduce you to another inspiring hurricane of research and academics from the Department of Biotechnology, Dr. I. Sarath Babu sir. Doctorate in Chemical Engineering from Andhra University in the year 2009, sir has received his doctoral degree. Masters in Technology in Biotechnology, Andhra University, June 2005, and BTech in Chemical Engineering from GMRIT, JNTU, 2001. After having worked in various roles, sir has moved to Geetam in the role of assistant professor, followed by his role as associate professor in Geetam in the Department of Biotechnology from 2017 till date. To his accord, he has 28 publications, out of which 25 are renowned under Scopus. And sir has also contributed to one book chapter on unconventional probiotic and unconventional foods published by Elsevier. Sir is a member of Biotech Research Society and Indian Science Congress Association. Coming to administrative roles handled, sir has been the member of Academic Council Geetam from August 2011 to 13, Assistant Director, Directorate of Academic Affairs, Geetam from 2014 to 17, Deputy Director, Directorate of Academic Affairs from 2017 to 19, and Assistant Director, Center for Food Processing Technology, Geetam itself, April 2017 to 19. And coming to the critical tasks delivered, sir has been taking up chief roles in maintaining the food processing equipment, that is fruit and vegetable unit and cashew processing unit at Center for Food Processing Technology. And sir has conducted several training programs for the beneficiaries. And coming to research projects as principal investigator, from 2011 to 14, funded by DST, Department of Science and Technology. Sir has accomplished a project under the title Process Optimization Studies of Heavy Metals Biosorption in a continuous flow-packed bed bioreactor using yeast biomass of, sorry, so I'm not able to name it. I'll call it as YL. Sorry, I don't want to misspell it, in fact. Thank you for that. Then mathematical modeling and optimization for production of polybeta hydroxybutyrate PHB using indigenous microorganism. It is a UGC granted project from 2013 to 17 and 2018 to 21. I think sir has submitted it also. Science for Equity, Empowerment and Development, SEED Division, Department of Science and Technology. Development and the title of this particular project is Development and Extension of Technologies to Improve Livelihoods of Small Farm Holders at Alamanda, North Coastal of Andhra Pradesh. Total funding 51 lakhs. So in fact, this is a crisp profile. If we keep on reading, too much to say. In fact, that's Sharad Babu sir. Sir, the show is yours now. Please.
Thank you, madam. Haneek, thanks for your brief introduction. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to share my screen to you. Is the screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Please put it in presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome to the webinar on insights of food processing in the Indian scenario. Before going to the presentation, I would like to share a few things about this webinar and into this make it a form of the and few points of the agenda. First, we go into the details of the agendas for today's webinar. In the first step, I would like to share about the food industries in India. Under this session, I would like to share what are the key segments in the food processing industry, especially in Indian scenario. And also not only that, I would like to share what is the post-COVID effects and thus what is the impact on the COVID in the food industry. And in that, I try to address growing this growth of the potential in the food industry. And try to next agenda is quality and innovation. In this, I would like to share quality and sustainability. And if you try to address food loss, how this food loss is impact on your research. And coming to the next agenda is future of the food industry. At this point, I try to explain few concepts of the future food industry and what are the government initiatives in this future food industry. Coming to the next agenda is opportunities. Yes, in this point, I will try to explain what is the opportunities for the entrepreneurs. In this, I try to share few stories about the young entrepreneurs in the food sector in India. Next, coming to this, I try to address few food industries in India. Coming to the next step, I try to explain my Geetham University, why you opt the Geetham University. In the Geetham, what I try to explain when it is established and what is this infrastructure, what is this research projects, and all these things I try to explain at this condition. And after that, it's a forum is open for this Q&A. Now coming to the first point. Coming to the first point of my slide is this about the food industry in India. Yes, the food industry, the Indian food processing industry comprises 6 key sub-segments. One is the dairy, meat and marine, cereals, grains, oilseeds, fruits and vegetables, beverages, especially non-alcoholic, and packaged. The Indian industry grew by the 10% over the last 5 years, led by this meat and marine, followed by the dairy, and followed by the packaged food segments. These sectors generate an employment of 7 million and also is the 5th largest industry in the manufacturing segment. Coming to the post-COVID scenario, all the 6 segments witnessed to that strong growth with a meat and marine and dairy followed by the packaged foods. The rise in the demand as a preference for the value-added dairy products, frozen meat, ready to eat, and the snacks. And low levels of the processing, especially in the fruit and vegetable segment, increasing in the consumer's income and push from the industry. I'll share one diagram in this slide. This figure depicts that all the 6 segments in versus in the state-wise. What are the processing units? Processing units in India, the state-wise and the segment-wise. If you observe the processing units in the Andhra Pradesh, dairy occupies 8%, and meat and marine occupies 21%, and fruit and vegetable occupies 7%. Coming to this, This is all before the COVID scenario. The meat is raised and all these things. Now, what happened after the impact of the COVID-19? What is the food scenario, food processing industry scenario? Let's glance once the food industries after COVID-19. Yes. Coming to the next one, impact on the COVID-19 pandemic on the food processing industry. Before going to that, I'll share one figure in this slide. This slide depicts the segment wise and the processing stages, various stages of the food processing. That is production and processing, procurement and storage, processing, retail and distribution and consumption. These are the different stages in the food processing scenario. Out and all the 6 segments, what is their impact? That I classified into the low impact and medium impact and high impact. Okay, coming to this, during the recent pandemic, the overall impact on the food processing industry, except meat and marine segment, was low comparing with the other industries. Why? Because interaction with the industrial stakeholders, the processed food products increased as a customers focused on hygienic and readily available products with a longer shelf lives. So this is the scenario after the COVID-19. Now coming to the next one, after that, what is the growth potential of the food industry? Before going to that, Indian online food delivery market is growing with evolving the lifestyle patterns and eating habits of the Indians, and also hectic work schedule, and also there is a lack of time for the preparation of the traditional foods and a raise in the disposal of the incomes, having the popularized in the food delivery and especially in the urban areas. Now, significant players currently operating the Indian online food delivery market, including platform to customer services like Swiggy, Fresh Menu, Fasos, Zomato. These are the platform to customer service provider. Apart from that, there are certain companies operate the restaurant to the customer delivery model like Boxite, Domino's, KFCs. The online food delivery market in India is expected to an annual growth rate of approximately 30.55% based on the revenue and approximately 10.99% based on the number of the users during the 20 to 24 period. Now you just imagine how this Indian food delivery is randomly growth in current years. Okay. Now coming to this food quality and the sustainability, in that especially the quality management plays a vital role in sourcing, processing, packaging, including the regulations of nutritive value, shelf life, raw materials, taste, texture, use of the preservative, and so. This food quality and sustainability also depends on consumers prefer food that is a fresh, it scores in the high quality and the taste. And by adopting the innovative technical process, the companies can easily increasing the production, the boost productivity, and most importantly, deliver perishable food items to the end customer to the freshness intact. The innovation, the term, the new technology can certainly improve the quality of the food and taste with a cheaper prices and a greater convenience. Coming to the next one is the quality and innovation. The food processing industry in India is increasingly seen by the potential source for the driving the rural economy. That means this is the synergy between consumer, industry, and the farmer. So a well-developed food processing industry can increase the farm gate prices, reducing the wastage, ensure the value addition to promote the crop diversification and increase the export earnings. So the food industry faces technical and economic changes due to the society consumption trends and the food processing. This fact, the forcing the companies to pay high attention to food products that meet the consumers' demand for the healthy lifestyle, and using the innovation technology to improve the processing and packaging, it can improve the quality, shelf life, and food safety. Now coming to this, it's a very important, that is a food loss and impact on the food research. The most significant regulatory body established by the government of India is the Food Safety Standards Authority of India, FSSAI. It is a liable for the protecting and promoting public health through the regulation and supervision of the food safety in India. It is science-based standards for the food products and regulating the manufacturing, storage, distribution, sale, and import of the food products to the ensure safe and nutritious food of the consumption. And I would like to share one example here. In 2015, the most popular food, the brand name is this Nestle's Maggi, which was declared as unsafe and was immediately banned from the sale of the Maggi by the Indian Authorized Food Safety Regulator, FSSAI. Not only Maggi, even Coke also faced similar issues few years back. So that implies how this food loss impact on the food research. Coming to the future food industry, I would like to give few aspects in the future of the food industry in India. For example, ready to eat food products and edible cutlery, algae, laboratory grown meat, full meal replacement powder, organic food. We'll go into the details of the each and everything, every aspect. Ready to eat food products, it is a closest alternative to the regular food, which can consume anytime, either during the breakfast, during the lunch, or the dinner. Okay. And coming to the edible cutlery, the government is planning to banning the plastics or sometimes some disposals like a food cutleries like cup, dishes, spoons, etc. But this edible cutlery plays an important role in the future food industry, because if you the edible cutlery like a spoon, which can eat after taking your meal. Otherwise, you can simply dispose it. That is a biodegradable status of the cutlery. And coming to the algae, in the future, the demand will be the more and more such as the algae. So food manufacturers more concentration on the products from the algae like spirulina in the form of the protein bar and the health high protein powders that can be in the form. I'll show the picture also in this one. This is the healthy protein bar or in terms of the protein powder also. Okay. Now coming to the laboratory grown meat. Instead of the real meat, the future of the artificial grown meat will be the high in the non-veg industry. Coming to the full meal replacement powder, the aiming of this concept is to replace every meal. For example, Soylent, that is a powder that gives you all nutrients that you need in one convenient shape. And coming to the organic food, this is a quite popular. You are well aware of this organic food. The name itself, they can fresh produce it by using the organic farming method. Coming to this one, so these are the future initiatives. So what is the government taking these initiatives? Now we look into this government initiatives. Through the Minister of Food Processing Industries, MOFPA, the government of India is also taking all necessary steps to boost investments in the food processing industry. The government has sanctioned 37 food parks under the Mega Food Park Scheme. Out of 21 are operational and 16 are under implementation. This is the statistics as on 13th January 2021. Okay. By 2024, the food processing industry will potentially attract $33 billion investment and generate employment of 9 million people. And by 2025, India's food processing sector was expected to be a growth of $500 billion. And by 2030, India's annual income, household income consumption is triple, and making India is the 5th largest consumer. And not only that, the government has approved the umbrella central sector, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampad Yojana, and allocated rupees of 6,000 crores to the small and marginal farmers. Institutes like Geetham, IFT, and NIFTM have been established to encourage more students to pursue the food technology and cater to rapidly growing food industry in India. Now coming to this, what is the next one? Opportunities. What are the opportunities for the entrepreneurs? Yes, I would like to address few segments. In the fruit and vegetables, establish enterprises that provides alternative products, supply chains, especially cold storage, chilled or frozen carriers, etc. And also organic farming. Through the organic farming, we can produce the fruits and vegetables. Coming to the cereals, establish the enterprises focused on territory value added products and ethnic snacks, healthy foods, and infant foods. These are the future opportunities in the as an entrepreneur. Coming to the beverages and opportunities for the entrepreneurs, healthy beverages, and also opportunities in the enterprising, growing the processing of the herbs, healthy ingredients. And coming to the milk and milk products segment, opportunities for the entrepreneurs, village level to be the sourcing point for the big players, and also opportunities in the value added health products like probiotics and dairy based health products industries, examples, cultures, and the prebiotics. These are the few segments I try to address. These are the opportunities of the entrepreneurs. Okay. Now coming to this, I would like to share few photographs of the young, inspiring Indian entrepreneurs in the food industry. The first girl, she is at 21, Anusha Bhushan, CEO of the Smoothies. This is the main real fruit-based company. No added sugars, no preservative. And next one is this Rashmi Daga, CEO of the Freshmano. This is an online food delivery market. So online food delivery. And next one is the Deependra Goyal and Pankaj Chadda. These two are the founders of the Zomato. And coming to next one is the Nandan Reddy and Sriharsha. These two are the founders of the Swiggy. So these are all at the age of the 21. They are inspiring young entrepreneurs. So I would like to share these pictures. There are a few pictures. Okay. Coming to this, what is the few top food companies in India? The very first one is the Nestle. Nestle is the Switzerland-based company. It's the largest food company in the world as well as in India also. Next one is the Parle Agro. This is an Indian company owning the products brands like Fruity, Appy, Bailey, and also Coca-Cola. These are the few of these things. And coming to the Britannia Industrial Limited, this is a not a new, it's a 120 years old company. It is a specialized in manufacturing and selling the biscuits, breads, cakes, and dairy products. And next one is this Cadbury. It's a quite popular. It is a British multinational company specialized in the chocolate and the confectionaries. And next one is the Amul. Amul is
Dear attendees, just stay tuned, so we'll be back. You can just go through all these lovely mouth-watering, right? So we do choose and we are very specific about what we eat, to what extent there are trans fats in it. Sir,
yeah, wait a minute.
Please continue.
Okay, madam. Sorry for troubling us. Now, yes. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen, madam? Yeah. Coming to this Cadbury, it is a formerly known as a British multinational company, and it is specialized in chocolates and confectionaries. Coming to the next one is the Amul. It is founded in 1948 in Gujarat. It's a world's largest producer in milk and milk products. And next one is a Vadilal. It is India's second largest ice cream player after Amul. And it exports larger shares of the frozen vegetables, instant snacks, curries, and the bread. And coming to the next one is this MTR Foods. The company roots go back to the Bangalore, where in 1924, the first MTR restaurant was established. Now later on, the wide ranges of the ready-to-eat curries, ready-to-eat gravies, frozen food, ice creams, instant mixes, spices, variety of the pickles, papads, and milk beverages and drinks, etc. Coming to the next one is the Haldirams. It is one of the major Indian sweets and snacks manufacturing company based on the Nagpur and Maharashtra. Coming to the Mother Dairy, this is also an Indian manufacturing company selling the dairy products as well as the edible oils, fresh and frozen fruits and frozen vegetables, juices, yogurt, jams, pickles, etc. Next one, the Hudson Agro. This is the manufacturing of the certain catering the both cooking and consumptions like milk and milk powders, ghee, paneer, etc. Coming to the next one is the Heritage. It's a quite popular. It's a founded in 1992. The Southern Indian company, one of the largest dairy enterprises subsequent. And food, this Heritage Foods includes dairy products like milk, curd, ice cream, buttermilk, etc. And next one is the Sunfeast. ITC launched a series of biscuits under the name of the Sunfeast in 2003. It is the largest biscuit producing brand in the in our country, and also, for example, in that dark fantasy field center biscuits. Okay, these are the coming to the top industries. Now coming to this, what to do next. The how to do and what to do in this Geetham, and about the department. MTech food processing technology. How this course is established, we look into once. This course is Ministry of the Food Processing Industries, an amount of 73 lakhs for creation of infrastructure to start MTech course in the food processing technology in the Department of Biotechnology during 2010 to 2011, with an objective of to train and develop human resources to keep pace with the growing demands of the industry in India. And not only that, to develop infrastructural facilities to facilitate research and development in processing, evaluation, and quality control. And this is the course lead to establish the research.
So you can have a glimpse at what we have at Geetham for you.
Wait a minute.
Being presented by Sir. Please stay intact. Thank you.
Sir, share your screen.
Sir, you can share your screen, sir. No problems.
Otherwise, I will give the presentation, madam, in case if sir is not able to.
If you have it, I think, ma'am, sir's bandwidth is low. Therefore, he has some issues. If you have the PPT, if you can finish it, it will be fine, ma'am.
Yes, in case if sir is not able to do, I'll do it, madam. No issues.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, dear attendees, you're tuned into, you're seeing the story, what's all about. I do know that after having seen all those logos, something which has caught your mind is ice cream logo. Definitely, all of us are ice cream lovers, in fact. But in FPT, food processing technology, how to preserve, what are the safest ways to consume? Because it is not all about preparing the food and making it delicious. After we eat, what happens to us, even that is more important. So there's a lot to speak in here. Sir is back again, waiting for you, sir.
Sir, not audible, please. Unmute
Sir,
your mic, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is my mic? Yeah. About the department, the Minister of the Food Processing Industry, an amount of 73 lakhs for the creation of the infrastructure to start MTech course in food processing technology in the Department of Biotechnology during 2010 and 11, with an objective of train and develop human resources to keep pace with these growing demands of the food industry in India. Not only that, to develop infrastructural facilities to research and development in processing, evaluation, and quality control. Coming to the infrastructure, this course leads to establish a research center with the equipment purchased, quality control cell, cashew processing unit, and fruit and vegetable processing unit. Under the quality control cell, we can procure HPLC, GC, texture analyzer, and nitrogen analyzer. And coming to this extension activity, through this course, we conduct few extension activities with an objective of to train small and marginal farmers and unemployed rural women and youth on different aspects of the food processing. And also our faculty received various funded projects from the government, like from this MOEFPA and DSTC. These are the few topics these are the few titles of these projects. Through these projects, various food related equipments worth of more than 1 crore has purchased, and further enhancing the quality of the research in the university. Now, our head of the department is one of this in the panelist of this webinar. So you can ask any related course related issues like course structure, faculty, placement, internship, alumni, etc. Now the forum is open for Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah, sir, you're done, right? I hope your talk is done.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yes, sir. So, dear buddies and dear foodies, you were just given a petty glimpse of real-time statistics pertaining to food technology sector from Indian scenario, synergy between consumer, industry, farmer. That's the key which drives the economy vitally. Improvement of shelf life through innovation subject to authorized standards and with relevant instances. In fact, Maggi, Nestle, I suppose, and Coke too, and government's initiatives to encourage food processing technology, avenues in Geetham for students, entrepreneurship options, and a lot more. Thank you, Sharad sir, for addressing these pivotal aspects. Let's go for Q&A now.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Dear attendees, in case if you have any Q&A, or you can post them in the chat box as well. If you have any queries, you can post them. We are here to address you. Meanwhile, ma'am or sir, let us say I'm a student of biotechnology or FPT who is in the second year. Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. In case if I'm to plan for my future, from the second year of my graduation, how should I make myself ready for my future, especially in these pandemic situations, so that I move out of the campus with real-time knowledge? Because I'm attending all online classes, real-time laboratories experience is different, and virtual labs experimentation is totally different. So how can I bridge this gap as a student and I move out of the campus with placement in this specific branch? Can you please address that, ma'am and sir?
Sure, madam, definitely. See, because during this pandemic situation also, food processing is the one area where we can give a lot of priority to the food processing industry, madam, because these things can be experimented even at home, right? So whatever is the research that is required to be done, it can be done even at home level. So that is one aspect that it can be taken care. The another thing about the food processing is a lot of simulations are available. So though we are not able to give them the exact laboratory experience, so a lot of simulations are shown, especially in the areas of design of the industries, design of equipment, and then how the automation is done in the various food processing industries, because automation is the key area now, wherein many of the food processing industries require those particular aspects. So those automation related aspects also will be dealt in the mode of simulation. So in that way, Geetham is fortunate that we were able to give all kinds of real-time experiences in the form of simulation.
Yes, ma'am.
Including yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I think many of you have this query, so it popped up in my mind. So I asked, in fact.
And
sir, there is one
the mic
question.
is muted.
Shrikar has asked this question, sir. You have read it?
Exactly. Actually, before 2015, they are mislabeling as richer content of the MSG, monosodium glutamate. Okay. Later on, after that, they remove the MSG in that labeling also, and they claim that MSG is a richer concentration in the earlier days, so that they banned at that time. Later on, if you observe this Maggi packet, no added MSG. Okay. So now it is quite good. Now it is good for consume, but little bit there is one remark in before at the year in the year 2015, I think so. So mislabeling. The reason is the mislabeling of this levels of the MSG. Due to that only they banned. Now
May
in
I
the
may I add one point, sir?
yes,
Here?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, this monosodium glutamate is the preservative that is normally used in many of the food products. So on that label, it is also there. So monosodium glutamate, which is the preservative that is being used. If the preservative concentrations are higher than the required levels, it has been to be banned. So that is why it has been banned. Again, it has been researched, and because of the research thing, they have completely eliminated the monosodium glutamate, and then the product has been developed.
Now it is no added MSG.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and ma'am, from first year onwards,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is the drift in the syllabus to second year? Branch specific.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you please focus?
Yes, definitely, madam. As far as the food processing technology is concerned, initially in the first year, they will be exposed to all kinds of concepts, especially fundamentals related to the food processing industry. And in the second year onwards, they will be given exposure to the design aspects, design and automation, basically. See how a food processing industry can be started, designed, and then a business plan preparation. See, all those things will be taught with the real-time experience with a project of 1 year in this
Okay.
second year. Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sir, and Sandeep has a question for us. Can lab-grown meat be cost-effective as compared to traditional meat according to Indian case scenario?
As of now, we can say that no, madam.
No.
So presently, the cost of the lab grown meat is more as compared to the normal meat. But in due course of time, this can be reduced because still it is at the research level, and in the research level, definitely the cost will be definitely higher. But still, because of the demands that are being increasing day by day for the non-vegetarian foods, the artificial meat is being researched, and definitely it will be fruitful, and in future this will be compatible to the present market meat, definitely. And not only that, it has a lot of value addition it can be done, and in general for the value addition it cannot be done for the normal livestock animals, but whereas in the laboratory grown meat we can do a lot of value addition, so that is feasible with the laboratory grown addition.
Ma'am, this question may seem a bit weird, but it must be in fact
And
answered.
madam, could you please? I'll add one more point to that question, madam.
Yeah,
if
please, sir.
possible.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
Actually, the lab-grown meat already one of our faculty had got this project. I'll share that also in the project
please
list.
do it. That's interesting.
Yeah. This one of the faculty already did some amount of the research on this one. The third one. Already this type of exercise is going on in our laboratory.
Satellite cells.
Yeah. This is the third in the third project is this based on this laboratory.
May I just read it, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Development of three-dimensional. Sandeep, an answer to your question will lie in this, in fact. Development of three-dimensional culture system to produce meat from chicken satellite cells. Sounds very spacious, in fact. Okay. Yes, sir.
So this is already, it is a sanction in 2013. You just imagine how our faculties are thinking in that direction. Okay.
Right. So, sir, and there are a couple of queries here. Madhu has asked, may I know the lab available in Geetham for this course? Madhu already, sir, has explained during his presentation, but still we'll come back with that. Ma'am, please.
Yes, madam. See, so many laboratories are available. It is not only one specific lab. We have both academic labs and also research labs. So the academic labs basically comprises the analysis lab and the quality and control lab. And also we have research labs wherein growing artificial meat and all those kind of research labs are also available. And not only the research labs, we also have the pilot plants for pasteurization, cashew processing, and also the fruit juice processing. And we do have the societal itself the fruit storage facility is there at Geetham, madam. And not only that, the meat processing facility is there, solar dryers are there, all kinds of industry oriented equipment are available at Geetham. So they will be having academic experience, research experience, and also the industry experience, real time industry experience at Geetham.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for that. And another question from the same person. Ma'am, what are the job opportunities after having completed MTech course? Please do address that.
Sir, Sarit sir, will you speak or can I answer that?
Sharat sir.
You can, madam.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Definitely. So as of now, because this course is there from 2011 onwards, and as of now, almost 8 batches have been passed out from the Geetham. And all these 8 batches students are already in the very good positions. And they are doing very well in various industry sectors like ITC, Britannia, and then the meat processing industry, and some of them are in working in the area of Korea, and some are in Malaysia in various food processing industries. So there is a lot of opportunities are available both abroad and also in India as far as the food processing sector is concerned. ITC Foods, some of our students are working, and also in the area of Britannia, Nestle, Parle-G. So name any food processing industry, our students are there. So that is the kind of thing that we have developed. Even the Mandalis is there in Chattur, which is a Cadbury unit. So there also our students are working. So all these students, that is the passed out students, they got placed in various industries because we send them to industries for internship of 6 months. That is a real-time project in a specific industry in the 4th semester, and the students are being absorbed then and there itself.
Okay, ma'am. Fine. I think that query has been addressed. And now, ma'am, an anonymous attendee, in fact, which branch of BTech course is eligible to pursue this course?
Yes, so as far as the eligibility is concerned, chemical engineering, all process related branches are eligible. Biotechnology, food processing technology, and the MSc with food processing, food science and technology, food science and nutrition. See, though, whether they have done either the MSc in the relevant branch, even the chemistry, they are eligible. And if they have done BTech, all process related courses, they are eligible, madam. Chemical engineering, biotechnology, and then the food processing technology, BTech in food technology or food processing technology.
So from that, it can be comprehended that there are multiple gateways through which they can enter this
Yes,
course.
yes, madam, that is true.
And as sir and yourself, you have given us with statistics, the avenues are very much open, especially in the present scenario. We can take it as a blessing in disguise, in fact, to be on the positive side, to be on the affirmative side.
And if you look at the wastage, only we are utilizing presently 2% of the fruits that are produced. And the others are being wasted because we are not able to preserve them, we are not able to process them. So that means a lot of raw material is there to process more. And if you look at the meat processing industry also in India, we have a lot of potential, but still we are in the 5th position as far as the meat processing industry is concerned. So we can grow #1 position as far as the meat processing industry. So like that, all of us, because India being the agrarian country, we have a lot of resources and a lot of potential wherein food processing industry can be increased further.
Yes, ma'am. That needs a lot of people to
Yes.
join this and be a part of it, in fact.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Sharat sir, would you like to add on something by way of their opportunities? Because at this moment, many people, something which knocks their mind is, how am I going to settle here? If I do MTech in something else, I'll have a better life. The main problem, as you know, is awareness. So this webinar, I think, will click that clock, and this is an awareness raising time, in fact, for them. Could you just pinpoint something by add on to to their opportunities.
Just now I shared the top industries. In this sector, actually, few of our alumni are working in different sectors, like horlicks, like as a, for instance, as a food quality analyst, or and some other aspects, different positions in this after completing their intake. So, there's a Priya Pickle also one of the alumni is as a in the key role, and also one named Bhagiraj. He is also one of the key analysts in the Spencer. So we have a prominent alumni. So there is a not only I'll share only few of the food industries. There are so many industries in India. So in the starting level, in the second year level, we send them to the internship to find out where it is the lag between in this industries versus Swiss, that it should this after completing their template or they are placed. Not only that, I would like to share one more thing at this moment. One of my students, he is owing one industry. I think he did his project on biodegradable plastics. Exactly. Okay. Now he established one. He became an entrepreneur. Exactly. Entrepreneur. He is developing a biodegradable covers, and he is distributing these covers to this pilgrim all temples and all these things. Now he is very good in the position. So these are the very starting of the research. They can do the things. And also not only that, I would like to share one more thing. In current batch, they are also doing some trying to mix of the curries, especially in the non-veg varieties. So in the internship, in the mini project itself, they can try to learn the concept and try to do the some sort of the experiments that it will help to this one. That girl wants to sell the idea to the ITC. She contacted ITC. If that is the work, it should be this. It's a benchmark. Okay. These are the some type of in the second year level the laboratories, and we train the students in such a way that they can. Where is the lag? Where is the gap between the students? So in that way, we can tune them. They can try to do the experiments. When they success, they can try to go for the.
Thank you, sir. So from that, dear attendees, you have, rather than thinking of some company coming to you, you can, because you are this generation people, very fast, very smart thinkers, and you have technology in your at your palm, in fact, right? So internships, mini projects, these are best avenues to give wings to your creative ideas. There are many avenues, as sir has just now quoted one example. Ma'am and sir, there is another question: how to approach for government jobs like FSSAI and FSO?
Yes, madam. There are our students are also working in FSSAI, that is government jobs, and once they are in second year or after the completion of their MTech program, they can write the competitive exam because that is basically completely technical, and it is easy to crack once they study this MTech program. Because the syllabi of that particular course, FSSAI exam, matches with our syllabi.
Oh, that's wonderful. So they need not have any add-on
Yes.
things.
Yes. Yes.
So the curriculum is in tune with that
In
syllabus.
tune. Yes.
Perfect, ma'am. And we have a couple of questions. Aparna has asked, what do you think is the scope of Remilk? Remilk.
Yes. So milk has varieties of products, madam. Milk is nothing but a recombinant milk, and this is already in the market. And especially it has to when it has to be stored for a long period of time. So this will be prepared, and this particular milk is used for varieties of purposes, right? So depending upon its application, this will be prepared, and it is already being uh, prepared in dairy industries. Remilk.
Okay, Abhiram, we'll just see to what extent, Naresh sir has addressed that query. In case we have a couple of minutes here, in case if you have any queries, they will be for sure addressed. So sir is popping up a list of all those firms where you can find your future, in fact. This is just a brief list, in fact. So dear attendees, hope your doubts were addressed. In case still if you have any, a couple, we are here to address. Sir and ma'am will definitely address.
Madam, can we present that Madam HOD Madam slide contact address details, and people are trying to note it out because
Sure,
it happens.
sure. Sir, last slide.
Yeah, you can reach out through the email or the phone.
So, dear attendees, you can just make a note of the contact details, head of the Department of Biotechnology, email ID you can approach, and department office number as well. So if you have any queries related to this course, you can contact through email, drop in a mail, or contact the number given. So recording, yeah, sure, it will be made available. Sir, and there is another question. I think before we close down, we can take this up. Apart from the companies pinpointed, Nestle, etc., are there some companies like the future innovative food and agro companies that hit the market, which are now startups? This is like a puzzle, this question, in fact.
Yes, madam, there are so many. Yes, so presently, whatever are their startups, they can hit the market, especially the ready-to-eat foods. And also the another one is replacement, meal replacement. So many children and many people don't prefer to eat the meal like a balanced diet. So instead, they would like to take a small pill. So such kind of innovative startups are coming. Definitely, they will have a lot of demand in future.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, okay.
And organic foods also, especially without any preservatives. And a lot of research work is going on natural foods now. So that is again another area where without pesticides, without preservatives, so food has to be developed and shelf life has to be increased. So those are the areas. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, speaking to the ground, what our grandmothers have done, we are going back to that technology again. In fact, organic, that has become the buzzword now, without preservatives. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Naresh, sir, are we open for some more questions, or shall we just...
Actually, I think up to 7 o'clock, they will give that time Zoom link point of that. If the time permits, we can take it, madam.
Done. Okay, dear all, no one person can shape the life of another, as you all know. Our success and happiness depends completely on our own self. Let's think for ourselves and have a plan for life. Geetam for sure will be a strong contributor for your wonderful future, because you are connected to a temple of value-based education, a hub of immense knowledge, seamless learning experience you'll for sure have here, and a lot more. I thank all the attendees and our respected panel members, Geetam Admissions Department, for scheduling this webinar. Thank you one and all. Have a happy, healthy, and safe week ahead. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Naresh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you.